The man in front of him was about to freeze to death, yet he didn't dare to put on his coat. Instead, he took off his pants, even stripping off his thermal underwear. Gritting his teeth, he curled up in the snow. As the temperature dropped rapidly, he could only warm himself by breathing into his hands. But that little warmth was useless. Before long, he was shivering uncontrollably. Even so, he refused to wear the clothes behind him. Instead, he stared intently at the bag clutched tightly in his hands and made a painful decision. He stuffed the bag full of snow and held it like a precious treasure in his arms. He prayed that in a few hours, the snow would melt into drinkable water. However, even by midnight, the snow remained frozen. Despair overwhelmed him. He had gotten lost while skiing and had fallen into an icy lake. Now his soaked underwear had frozen stiff. Just as he was complaining out loud, something ahead suddenly caught his eye. He took a few hesitant steps forward, hardly daring to believe what he saw. Was he hallucinating? A villa had appeared on the mountaintop, and its lights were on. On the second day of being trapped in the snowy mountains, the man finally saw a glimmer of hope for survival. He was eager to put on his clothes and rush toward the house. But a pack of wolves howled behind him. He froze in fear, his eyes darting around in search of them. However, the dense forest was shrouded in darkness, and visibility was low. He couldn't see a thing. Now he didn't dare move recklessly. He had to hide and wait for dawn. He spent the night sleeping in a crevice between the rocks. The next morning, the blinding sunlight woke him up, and the snow in his arms had completely melted. After hydrating himself, he checked his remaining equipment. His phone and radio still had no signal. To conserve battery, he turned off his devices. The house he had seen last night was now obscured by clouds, but he had no time to worry about that. He set off toward the mountaintop. Yet even after walking for a long time, he couldn't even reach the base of the mountain where the house stood. Hiking through the snow was exhausting, and after 3 days without food, he started feeling dizzy. Before he knew it, his body collapsed onto the ground. He struggled to stay conscious, but a sharp pain suddenly stabbed his stomach, and he vomited bitter bile. It took him a long time to recover. Forcing himself up, he continued moving forward, this time keeping his eyes closed to prevent another dizzy spell. He had no idea how much time had passed, but he finally reached the mountainside, only to be met with a sight so shocking that he almost fainted again.